It's an all-Western Conference matchup in today's game as the Grizzlies come into town for this one. You're in for a treat as we bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony. We'll be catching up in a bit from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. You look at Minnesota. They've hit a rough spot here early, but still have plenty of time in their season to find their way out.
Well, right now for the Timberwolves, they've never been able to take that next step this season and really break away from the pack.
Yeah, I think if that next step was coming, it would have happened by now. They can't be worried about could-haves and should-haves. They need to be focused 100% on the push for the playoffs.
Now, look at Memphis's starting group. Sefolosha is out there with Marc Gasol. Then it's Rodney Hood. Then it's Conley. And it's Wright in at the center position.
Well, the 6'8" lefty, Rodney Hood, such a shifty guy with the ball in his hands. Boy, does he use that hesitation to get where he wants.
Now here is Conley. He had 22 points in the win against Dallas. Outside Gasol. Shoots over Towns. That shot is off. And Minnesota will come the other way. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
Yeah, I just thought their energy was lacking defensively. Just gave up way too many easy shots.
And when the defense isn't there, Greg, you really open up the floodgates for the other team. They didn't have any heart.
Here's Conley following the three by Minnesota. Gasol wide open. He fires. Gasol with another miss. And the wide open shot from Miles. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Miles has got 5.
Boy, that's a pass I don't think anyone saw coming other than maybe Kyle Lowry. What vision on the dish.
Conley with it. Lowry picks him up. Conley kicks to Gasol. Now running. Here comes Lowry pushing the ball up. Good, and the assist goes to Towns.
Boy, Kyle Lowry's defense paying dividends. Gets the strip and the score for his guys.
The dish to Gasol. Hits it from three-point range. Gasol's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Boy, after missing 3 straight, they finally get one to go down.
Towns wide open. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Here's Conley. Sefolosha dishes to Wright. Back to Sefolosha. Here's Gasol. Can't hit that one. Towns with the defensive effort.
Well, they're simply having trouble getting their legs underneath them, right? They're just 1 for 5 to start things off.
Lowry passes to Bogut. The kick outside to Butler. There's the pass to Lowry. Sinks the three-pointer. He has 5.
Well, it took a lot of work for Kyle Lowry to become this dangerous from three-point land, and downtown is one terrific option among many for this guy.
Here's Gasol, rebounded by Bogut. Here's Minnesota. They're on a 12-3 run. Conley against Lowry. Butler kicks to Bogut and finished off by Bogut.
Yeah, and that's just Butler staying alert, right? He keeps his eyes up. He's willing to make the extra pass. This guy understands the game.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Conley against Lowry. Already, Doris, several elite rookies are struggling. We often see top high school players making the seamless jump to college. Why is that next jump from college to pro so much more difficult?
Well, I think every level of basketball that you go up, whether it's high school to college and then college to pro, there's a different level of physicality. The players take an extraordinary jump both in their approach to the game, their level of professionalism, what their physical and mental maturation state is. So the NBA has the best players not only from the United States but from across the world. And so obviously there's a level of preparation that's required on a day-to-day basis, and the season is so much drastically longer from the college, which plays about 32 to 40 games, to an 82-game regular season, and then if you're fortunate enough to be in the playoffs. So there's a level of endurance required in addition to both the physical and mental maturation standpoint.
Now Conley, after the missed three from Karl Anthony Towns.
I really admire the presence of mind from Rodney Hood. He's terrific at realizing when one of his teammates is wide open.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
Well, there's no doubt that last season the major downfall in most games for the Timberwolves was their struggle on the defensive end of the floor, right? Too many holes in the perimeter, couldn't get stops when they needed them.
Timberwolves leading by 7. Lowry with the ball. 14 points from him the last game against Detroit. Bogut dishes to Towns. Conley, the pass to Wright. Memphis moving it around. Outside Conley. Wright sets a screen. Back to Gasol. Lets the three fly. No good that time. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. And this Minnesota roster has good defenders on it, Doris, but it's just a matter of getting all 5 players on the court to commit on the defensive end.
Right. Think about how young they have been, and focus at times can be an issue. You know, Coach Tom Thibodeau is not going to let that slip. This is a group that showed improvement as the season wore on, and they know they must be much better on the defensive end this season.
Here's Hood. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
And you know what? Call it great defense or poor offense. Either way, they're limiting their scoring.
Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. Timberwolves leading by 7. And here's Livingston. Lets a floater go, and the layup is up and in. Livingston's got his first basket of the night.
Boy, I'll tell you, it takes a lot of confidence to go with the floater. That is not as easy as it looks.
Evans left side. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup.
And how about the efficiency Evans has shown in the paint? Once he's got his position, he's looking to score.
Crawford drives in. Here's the teardrop, and it's good on the way in. And there's a minute 45 left in the first. Now here's Evans. Boy, was he something else against Dallas. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
Well, you like to see Favors dive after setting the screen. He's mobile, he's agile, and in that instance, he was hostile.
Here's Livingston. In the corner, it's Crawford. Pass to Patton. He kicks to Livingston. In the corner, it's McDermott. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Livingston. McDermott's got his first 3 points of the game.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
There's the pick. There's 53 seconds left to play here in the first. Hutton the screen from deep three-point range. Minnesota with the rebound.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Pass to Livingston. In the corner, it's McDermott. And another three for Minnesota.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to sum it up. A little more sense of urgency.
Hutton the screen. Evans kicks to Martin. over Zhang.
Well, the timing, a very natural aspect of what Gorgui Zhang does on the defensive end.
Now Crawford. His last outing, he had 8 points. He feeds it to McDermott. Here's Zhang. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And so it's Minnesota. 13 points up at the end of the period. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We'll return shortly. And the Grizzlies, a team that's dealt with their share of...
We feel like we're a team that's...
defense, really their identity. That's how they win. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And quite a position here for the Timberwolves to be in. What do you think, guys?
Tough defense throughout that first period, and it's really paying dividends.
Well, I think there's a level of physicality with them right now and not allowing the opponent to feel comfortable getting into their heads just a bit.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, they've got McDermott batting out there with Gorgui Zhang. Then it's Crawford, and it's Livingston in at the point guard. Now here's Evans. Crawford with the steal. Livingston with it. Feeds to Crawford. It's tipped. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. With this break, we have a chance to break down where the assist has been coming from tonight between the front and back court for Minnesota.
You know, the play of their guards has been something to highlight. You love to see the backcourt contributing with the pass. When they're looking to make things easier for everyone, you see your bigs run the floor a little bit harder, and those things become contagious.
Livingston, no luck.
Well, he gets the separation he needs. You can't say the same for his aim, though.
Well, a max contract last season for Chandler Parsons, despite, Greg, his history of knee injuries. That was a bold move by the Grizzlies.
Yeah, and they've needed a great two-way wing player for years. Hopefully, Parsons can get healthy and fulfill that role for this team.
Here's Parsons following the score by Jamal Crawford. Evans dishes to Favors. And Derek Favors with the slam.
At 6'10", Derek Favors will always be a threat. To jam it home exposes the defense there.
To the paint, here's Patton. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot two. Doors with every team looking to spread the floor, get that space. Most big men are being asked to increase their range. Is the practice time going into that taking away from working, for instance, on other fundamentals that a big guy should be working on?
Here's how you know this is for real. When you hear Dwight Howard talking about the fact that this guy is going to spend an entire summer trying to develop the range because he wants to extend his playing career.
Sure.
Dwight Howard at one time was the single most dominant back-to-the-basket low-post center. They surrounded him with shooters. They put him in pick and roll, and he was an absolute monster. You know what? I don't know if it'll take away from the other fundamentals for the center. I do know that the role of center has drastically changed in the NBA. Well, you think about Tom Thibodeau as the architect of so many great defensive teams. For Minnesota, it took some time on the defensive end, but he feels like this team is starting to turn a corner on that end.
Timberwolves leading by 16. Crawford outside. They set the pick. There's the dish to Zhang. Pass to Livingston. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. And stolen by Hood. Here's Conley. He gets that one. Conley's got his second bucket tonight. And for Thibodeau, you simply can't play for him unless you exert maximum effort on defense. Doris, he can be tough but fair in what he demands.
Well, as long as you're willing to work hard every single day on every possession, you can play for Tom Thibodeau. This is a guy who constantly preaches the importance of the little things, and he wants proper defense to become second nature for his team.
Just 5 on the clock. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
Boy, that's a tough miss. Does well to get himself open and then botches it up.
And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession.
And here's a look at some stats for Marc Gasol. He's coming off an excellent season.
put up about 19 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. He has been at his most dynamic, no question about it, a real handful.
Let's make no mistake, one of the elite talents in the NBA and operating at the highest level right now.
So Memphis ends up going with the new group.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
The Grizzlies trail by 16. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Karl Anthony Towns was voted by GMs last season as the player they most want to build a franchise around. But he is not resting on his laurels. He said, "I work hard on my game. I want to be the strongest player, the most intelligent player, and the most skilled player on the court at all times." Kevin?
Thanks, David. That work ethic will definitely help Towns get better. He's already a dynamite player.
Well, Derek Favors has always gotten a lot of credit for his defensive abilities, but to me, his offense has come such a long way since he came out of Georgia Tech.
Now here's McDermott. He's got 6.
Well, I think the defense took that possession off. I'm pretty sure he won't miss next time.
They set the pick. Outside Favors. Minnesota with the rebound. Patton's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And Favors a good post threat. Doris, he can hit that hook shot with either hand.
And the footwork serves him well in the pick and roll. Even when the help is there, this guy can maneuver and create his own shot around the rim. Well, he's got wonderful touch from deep, right? And with his size, a defender has a hard time even bothering him on the perimeter.
And there's Parsons on the assist by Evans. Evans has got 3 assists in the game.
Well, with the size Parsons brings to the small forward spot, tough to stop him in there.
Now here's Livingston. Dishes it to Jang. In the corner, it's McDermott. His 3-pointers off the mark.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
Evans passes to McLemore. He gets stolen by Livingston. And here we go. Fast break. Crawford's got it. He makes another one. That's 4 up and 4 in to start his game.
And racing up the court, you have a number of options and a great decision there.
I love how he took the initiative, right? You took charge of the opportunity and made the right decision.
Now here's Evans. Parsons on the wing, expanding his range. Hangs in the air, and it's Favors laying it in. Favors got 6 points in the quarter.
Well, you like how Favors stays after it in that instance. When he's close to the bucket, boy, he's great at hustling for these second chance points.
Crawford kicks to Livingston. Crawford up top. 10 points for him. Over Parsons. Crawford, no luck.
Just a little hesitation on that release, right? His timing looked a bit off.
Evans outside. In the corner, Parsons with it. Offensive rebound. Evans dishes to Martin. Favors passes to Evans. The 3-pointer, no good. Timberwolves leading by 15. Crawford outside. Jang inside, covered by Martin. 1:14 left to play in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, he's been orchestrating all game at a high level.
It's just so great to see ball movement like this, and he is excellent at getting his teammates involved.
Parsons outside, and Favors kicks to Evans. He gets stolen by Livingston. Fast break, Minnesota. McDermott with it. Evans picks him up. Here's Crawford. Favors with the rebound. Favors has got 5 rebounds tonight. Nobody near Parsons. Parsons can't get that one to fall.
And out of rhythm offensively, but he continues to work at it.
Well, you can see he's sputtering a bit, but he's trying to get going. I do like that he's continuing to be aggressive.
Now McLemore after the missed 3 from Jamal Crawford. Outside Favors.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
16 seconds left in the first half of basketball.
Yeah, and even with his range, that one might be asking a little too much.
Yeah, that zip code might extend beyond his range. My goodness, let's take a better shot next time.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves feeling good about their 17-point lead. All right, David, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody, along with Kenny the Jet Smith, and it's Minnesota out in front at the half. They are way out in front, leading by 17. Kenny, what's your take?
Well, it comes down to confidence. From the opening tip, these guys had that swag. They had the attitude.
That's it for now as the second.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested. The Grizzlies trail by 17, so the Grizzlies 5 right now. Conley out there with Hood, and it's Marc Gasol. Then it's Brandon Wright, and it's Cephalosha in at the 3 slot. Conley kicks to Gasol. Just 5 on the clock. Over Towns. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Towns has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Towns, the screen. Lowry kicks to Towns. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Towns has got the first basket of the second half. That one for Minnesota. Conley the pass to Cephalosha. And he banks in the layup. And Minnesota has possession. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Memphis this season.
Yeah, and these teams pretty familiar with one another. They'll face off 4 times this year.
And typically, the better they know each other, the more competitive they become. And expect this first meeting to be extremely spirited.
Conley up top. Lowry covering. Stolen by Miles. Now running, here comes Lowry pushing the ball up from outside the arc. Rebounded by Cephalosha. The Grizzlies trail by 18. Here's Conley, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Kyle Lowry picks one up there.
Yeah, former 4th overall draft pick. Conley took a while to develop physically, but the mental parts have always been there. And Mike Conley Jr., you know, you talk about being bred for success. Remember, his dad was a gold medalist in the triple jump. And you can just see that athleticism in his game. Super quick and elusive out on the floor.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Jones is checked in. From deep, Miles. Bogut kicks to Butler. Towns a screen on Hood. 4 on the shot clock. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
Well, the defense trying to get out on him, but he's left with the open shot. He's got to make that one.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
And you can blame it on a terrible defensive breakdown, one that could possibly swing the momentum here.
The free throw drops for Gasol.
And in today's NBA, how about the value in having a guy at the center who has the versatility and the skill set of a Marc Gasol? With his passing and shooting, and he becomes a great zone buster for any team.
Jones, no luck.
I don't like their energy level since the break, right? They've missed 3 of their first 4 shots.
Jones against Conley. Out to Hood, launches a 3, sinks the triple. Hood's got his first 3 points of the game. And Marc Gasol becoming more aggressive, looking for his own offense.
And I thought at times in the past, he was unselfish to a fault. His teammates egged him on, told him, you're the best center in the game, go out there and dominate. And now it seems like he's becoming more comfortable in his skin.
So Memphis ends up going with the new group.
And while we have a moment, let's check the stats for Jimmy Butler.
Last season, he played outstanding.
Last season, put up about 24 points per, 5 assists and 6 rebounds. He has been terrific throughout, putting up some huge numbers offensively.
Well, and this is exactly who he is, a flat-out scoring machine. You plug him in and let him go to work.
Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Martin the screen. Evans against Jones. Evans right side. Favors inside. Bogut on him. It's good on the putback. McLemore's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Grizzlies.
And when they desperately needed to get things turned around, they were able to rally and get back into it.
You know, they found a way to compose themselves on both ends of the floor, and that's what's really powered this run.
And Parsons kicks to Evans. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Favors can't get it to go. Minnesota leading by 9. Jones for 3. It's rebounded by McLemore. Here are the Grizzlies with the ball. 11 unanswered points for him. He dishes it to Martin. Oh, good with the triple. Timberwolves have gone only 1 of 6 from the field in the third quarter. Not how they pictured the half started. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Boy, how bright is the future for Karl Anthony Towns? The guy's already putting up 25 and 12 in his second year. This guy led every big man in double-doubles last year. He dominates every category you want a big man to impact.
And David Fizdale wants a timeout. And talking about Towns, Doris, and his double-doubles last season ended up being 3rd overall amongst all players, trailing only Westbrook and Harden. Not bad company at all.
Well, yeah, there's no question. It's amazing to me, Kev, how easy Karl Anthony Towns makes it look. He puts huge numbers up on a nightly basis, and to be honest, he's going to be regarded very soon as the best big man in the league.
Kyle Lowry, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. And here is Conley. He's got 5. In the corner, right with it. And another miss by Memphis.
Oh, he'd like to have that one back. He almost never get that wide open a look.
And stolen by Cephalosha. Conley dishes to Gasol. And there's the feed to Cephalosha. Makes it off the glass. Cephalosha's got 4 points this quarter.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Right wing. And stolen by Hood. Conley with the 3. And there's the foul. It goes on C.J. Miles. That's his first foul. Doris, there are always rumblings about teams and players who don't like what the press is writing about them, trying to ban certain media members from the locker room. What's the danger, you think, in doing that?
To me, any credentialed media should never be banned from a locker room, from an opportunity to bring their fans closer to the sport, simply because you object either about the content of the coverage or the amount of coverage does not exclude a media member from the locker room. I think it's a very dangerous precedent, Kev.
Good point. Lowry kicks to Butler. Here's Towns. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. And here are the Grizzlies with it. Outpacing them right now in a 15-2 run. Conley into the lane. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on Jimmy Butler. Well, we all have hobbies outside basketball, Doris. You've said that one of your passions is cooking, and I know this personally. I have to ask, what's your best dish? What's your specialty?
You know, that might be too many to name, but if I were to pick just one, I would probably have to say my chicken tetrazzini is my children's favorite. Boy, I can throw down in the kitchen, Kevin.
Learn that from Mom? Did you just pick that up on your own? How'd you learn to be such a good cook?
You know, my daughter and I, that was one thing that sort of really bonded us. We would watch a little cooking show on TV, head to the kitchen and try to reproduce it. So Sarah and I did some work.
Love that story. Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. Now here's Livingston, covered by Conley. Hood against Crawford. Timberwolves passing it around. Here's Livingston, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Michael Conley picks one up. You look at the height of Sean Livingston, Doris, and how he is able to both score and facilitate for others. He is a coach's dream in that regard.
Well, Sean Livingston is a mismatch nightmare because with his size, he can shoot over most point guards in the post or in the mid-range. But then if you put a bigger player on him, he can create mismatches at other positions. He's a tough guard.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
And that one falls for Conley. Derek Favors checked in for Wright. And Conley drops them both.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
Kicks it to McDermott. To the right side. Here's Jang, the pass to Patton. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
And now a moment to see the stats for Conley. Great showing for him last season. 17th in assists, and he was also extremely dependable behind the three-point line, finishing the season among the top 20 in three-point percentage.
And really a good season for him distributing the basketball. Whether it was the drive and dish, pick and roll, fast break, he was money all year long. Favors passes to Gasol. Shot clock at 6. Tries again. And with that shot, the Timberwolves lead is cut down now to just 2 on the basket from Favors.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
In the corner, it's Jang. Back to Crawford. Out left to the wing. Lets it go from deep. Here's Patton. Kicks it out to Crawford. Fires from deep. It's good. With that basket, he's now 5 for 9.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the deep.
Timeout called. The Grizzlies. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
And we've seen them play better games than that one, but still, they were able to get the win.
You know, inconsistency, maybe a bit of lack of concentration hurt them a bit, but they made just enough plays when it counted, and a W is a W.
And a chance here to take a look at the shooting chart for Gasol.
Well, they haven't really been strong enough inside. I mean, they haven't been a force or aggressive with getting those good quality looks in the paint. And I think the one-dimensionality of their offense is going to continue to be an issue because the defense isn't having to worry about clogging the lane or defending down low.
Here's Patton. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
The Timberwolves have made a little more than half their free throws today, 7 of 12. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Evans inside. He's covered by Livingston. Martin against Jang. Martin dishes to Evans.
Don't have to be in a hurry. They can hold for the last one.
And I think that's exactly what you'll see here, right? They don't want the other team getting that final look.
Crawford outside. Back to McDermott from the arc. What a play! Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
That is a huge three-pointer. Extends the lead at the last possible second. That'll give them a big boost going into the fourth period.
And so it's Minnesota ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. A good size advantage, and they'll look to increase it. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
Keep digging, man. Keep fighting. Keep fighting.
Just 1 quarter left in regulation. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Patton out there with Jang. Then it's McDermott. And there's Livingston. And it's Crawford at the 2. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Jang with a screen on Martin. Crawford kicks to Jang. Stolen by Evans. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Lets it go with a 3. And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
Yeah, pretty obvious over-the-back call there, but being out of position, that was really the only option.
Right, or he can just concede the rebound, and probably better off doing that than picking up a silly foul.
There's a good screen. Kicks it out to Crawford. Over McLemore, and he overshot that one, missing. The Grizzlies trail by 9. Rebound by Jang.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Fires from 18. Crawford with another miss.
Well, can't find the target, but good work to get into open space inside the arc.
Now here's McDermott. Crawford outside. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. It's on Ben McLemore.
Way to attack there and then create the contact.
And so Jamal Crawford nails both of them. As a former point guard at Providence, Doris, in college basketball, you had to initialize plenty of different plays, work within different styles and schemes. Is there a particular offensive scheme that you prefer beyond others?
You know, when I was a kid, believe it or not, though I'm an East Coast kid, during the Lakers and Celtics era, I was actually a Showtime fan. I love the fast pace, their ability to get in transition, the spectacular James Worthy being fed so perfectly by the incomparable Magic Johnson. I am much more a pace and space fan than I am a grinded out player. You know, I'm a Knicks fan by heart, and though I love the success they had in the 90s, I would say that the style of play today is much more appealing to me.
It is. It's so attractive to watch movement and fluid basketball and sets that run with precision. It's great to watch.
Poetry in motion.
Yes, well said. From deep, Evans. Here's Wright. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And the first one at the line is good. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Marcus All's checked in for Martin. Cephalosha comes in for Chandler Parsons. Hood's checked in for Ben McLemore. And it's Conley in for Evans. So it's the Timberwolves now. A great fourth quarter, just giving up 2 points. Jang, a screen. Crawford outside. The shot from the low post is good. Crawford's got 10 points here in the second half.
I love this approach. Despite the lead, still attacking, adding fuel to the fire.
They are absolutely relentless right now, Greg. There's no end in sight. They are going for it.
Over in the corner, Livingston. Hood against Crawford. Just 5 to shoot. Puts one up from 19. Timberwolves working now with a new shot clock. In the corner, it's McDermott. Crawford against Hood. Crawford outside. Over Hood. The shot will not fall. Now the Grizzlies take it the other way.
Well, they've been playing some tough defense on him in this period, and it's starting to affect him. This guy's having trouble finding the target right now.
Timberwolves leading by 12. Crawford outside. And that one drops for him. Crawford's got 22.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Right. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. A chance now for a three-point play. It's going to be on Doug McDermott. Both teams will make substitutions. Free throw drops for Wright. Here's Lowry. The dish to Butler. Cephalosha with the steal. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession.
Well, he just gets ahead of himself and throws it away, right? You've got to have better focus than that.
Grizzlies making a switch here. Favors is checked in. Lowry against Conley. Outside Lowry. The kick outside to Butler. Off target from three-point range. The Grizzlies trail by 11. Left side Favors. Some nice passing there by Memphis.
Well, that play is so much about his reach and determination affecting the game defensively.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
Conley gets the bucket.
And that was a real quick comeback there. Both sides showing some range.
But both teams are pulling the trigger right now, showing great confidence from behind that arc.
And there's Bogut. That's good on the assist by Lowry. And the Timberwolves lead by 13. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Conley, foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Lowry. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. And the Timberwolves making a change here. Anunoby's checked in. And so Mike Conley nails both of them. Minnesota leading by 11. Out left to the wing. Towns, the pass to Bogut, and finished off by Bogut.
What a quick read by Towns, always keeping his head up.
For Memphis, they've gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Right side, Conley. That's tipped. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Butler, and it's Butler with the jam.
Boy, out in transition, Butler gets his eyes on the rim, and there's no denying him.
Favors with the screen. Outside Conley. They set the pick. Clock at 6. Down low. And that one's good by Favors.
Yeah, Kev, the defense has got to be aware of Derek Favors. This guy is especially effective at using his height near the rim.
Hood against Butler. Over to the left wing. Towns against Gasol. Towns kicks to Butler. Over Hood. And it comes off the front of the rim. The Grizzlies trail by 13. The 3. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet. 6 points for Rodney Hood.
Now, how good is the shooting for him? Rodney Hood rises up quickly from deep. He's lights out there.
Butler, no good.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Conley gets the bucket.
Unable to close out defensively, even against the smaller shooter.
Well, credit the shooter. It's just great work carving just enough space to get that 3 off in time.
Pass to Anunoby. Down low. Bogut, that's good. And the Timberwolves lead by 9.
Well, this guy very capable of using a variety of moves. Andrew Bogut, not that predictable to defend in the painted area.
Conley, and right on through for another basket. He's got 5 made on 5 of 9 shooting.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help this team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this one.
From past the arc. Offensive rebound. Butler with the steal. Here's Anunoby. He kicks to Towns, and he lays it straight in.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Rodney Hood. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Here's Crawford. No good on the quick 3. Maybe at this point, not much of a chance for a comeback.
Yeah, you got a better chance of walking through a lion's den with pork chop underwear on.
Now Conley. From deep. Off on that one. And so Minnesota takes the win. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity.
David, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony,